this work is sort of a collaboration of 3 or 4 different works, ideas I've had previously. It started off with the doll that I want to make, which is pretty much inspired by a lot of kind of like research into feminist thinking, feminist works, in terms of objectifying a person. And I find those concepts quite interesting and also very sort of liberating, especially in feminist art, where they, in the late sort of 60s, start to self-objectify. Even though it's quite ironic, it's sort of like helped regain the gaze back from sort of like a public gaze or male gaze, and giving those women like a little bit more power in how they want to be represented. So even when you're self-objectifying, you're sort of kind of like liberating yourself from those constraints, as opposed to being objectified by someone else, you sort of like regain that power. So that's pretty much what with that started. And then in the space, sort of like working around with it, had issues of how to display it. And I thought about like the space in itself, like how I could sort of like enhance the work a little bit more. And I looked back into all the sort of works that I've planned that I never sort of did. And one of them was installing my bedroom into a space, also in a very similar way, trying to objectify a person with objects around, sort of like leaving all these like visual clues about a person and how you could potentially sort of create a portrait of a person with objects. Considering that all of these are straight up from my bedroom, they are slightly narrated in a very specific way, constructed in a specific way. Some objects here, or some objects that were left out deliberately to sort of like hide something. So it's pretty much a construction of a person in my head. It's sort of like the same as constructing your own body, constructing a similar sort of way for people to read into it. And in the last part of the work, there's a little diary. Together, I want to function as a sort of unit where the doll is sort of like the personification of an objectified object or an objectified person. And then later, through exploring the space, which was intended to be quite an interactive space, I wanted to be able to sort of start realizing that the object or this body was representing another human being or substituting a human being. Just by leaving all these little visual clues and sort of constructing this reality around this object, which is what we do sort of for most people in any case, but just in this sense, have it to be very, very literal.